Welcome to this video on why punctuality matters so much in Denmark's professional environment, and how understanding this single cultural trait can significantly improve your effectiveness when working with Danish colleagues or clients. Denmark is often associated with flat hierarchies, openness, and a relaxed social atmosphere, which can sometimes mislead newcomers into thinking that time is flexible and deadlines are more of a guideline than a rule. In reality, punctuality is a fundamental pillar of professional trust and respect in Danish business culture, and getting it wrong can quietly undermine your credibility before you have even opened your laptop. At the core of this emphasis on punctuality is the Danish notion of mutual trust and reliability. Workplaces here operate on the assumption that everyone is responsible, self-managed, and committed to the collective outcome. When a meeting is scheduled for 10 o'clock, the implicit agreement is that all participants will be ready to start at 10 o'clock, not arriving then, not about then, but actually prepared and present. The reason is not formality for its own sake, it is about respecting that everyone's time is equally valuable. Being on time signals that you take both the shared objective and the other person's schedule seriously. In many Danish organizations, calendars are tightly planned with back-to-back commitments, often including coordination across teams and functions. If you arrive late, even by 10 minutes, you are not only pushing back one interaction, you are disrupting a chain of interdependent activities. Over time, such delays erode the perception that you can be relied upon, especially in a culture where people generally expect that what is agreed is what will happen. This can be particularly striking for professionals coming from cultures where a few minutes delay is accepted or where relationship building is prioritized over strict timekeeping. In Denmark, maintaining strong professional relationships is closely linked to predictability and follow-through, and punctuality is one of the most visible ways to demonstrate both. Another important dimension is the Danish commitment to work-life balance. Most professionals aim to leave the office on time, and workdays are structured with that goal in mind. When meetings start late, they either compress the time available for meaningful discussion or they push tasks into personal time, which is strongly discouraged. Being punctual is therefore not just a workplace courtesy, it is also a way of supporting a culture that protects personal life and family time. When you consistently arrive on time, you are signaling alignment with these values, reinforcing that you recognize the broader context in which your colleagues are operating. Within meetings, punctuality also supports the Danish preference for efficiency and preparation. Many meetings in Denmark are planned with clear agendas, specific time slots for topics, and clear decision points. Starting on time allows teams to use the scheduled duration effectively, enabling inclusive discussion while still moving decisively toward outcomes. If you arrive late, you risk missing important context that will not be repeated in full, both because it consumes additional time and because Danes often assume that if you are not present, you accept the decisions made in your absence. The subtle consequence is that your influence on decisions may shrink, not because of your skills or expertise, but simply because you were not in the room when it mattered. Punctuality also extends beyond physical presence at meetings. Being on time with deliverables, responding within agreed timelines, and meeting milestones as planned are all critical behaviors in a Danish professional setting. The working assumption is that deadlines are realistic because they have been discussed openly with all stakeholders. When you commit to a date, you are expected to have assessed your capacity and potential risks in advance. Missing a deadline without early communication is often interpreted as poor planning or lack of transparency, rather than as a normal part of doing business. On the other hand, if you foresee delays and proactively inform stakeholders, you will typically find Danish colleagues understanding and solution-oriented. What matters is that information flows in time for plans to be adjusted. For international professionals working with Danish organizations, adapting to this punctuality standard is both a risk and an opportunity. The risk is that if you treat time flexibly, you may unintentionally signal a lack of seriousness or respect, which can limit trust and partnership potential. The opportunity is that by demonstrating consistent punctuality, you immediately align yourself with a core local norm, building credibility far more quickly than through words alone. Colleagues will see that you get it, and you are more likely to be invited into key discussions, project teams, and decision forums. To operate effectively in this environment, there are several practical behaviors to consider. First, plan to arrive at meetings a few minutes early, whether in person or online, to allow time for technical setup or brief introductions. Second, Always clarify expectations on timing and deadlines up front, and do not hesitate to challenge unrealistic schedules before you commit. Third, if something changes and you will be delayed, communicate as soon as you become aware of the issue, not at the last minute. A short, factual message explaining that you are running behind and proposing an alternative time is much better received than silence followed by a late arrival. Finally, mirror the Danish preference for concise, focused meetings by coming prepared, sticking to the agenda, and concluding on time. In summary, punctuality in Denmark is not a superficial courtesy. It is a concrete expression of respect, reliability, and shared responsibility. It reflects a culture that values equality of time, efficient collaboration, and a strong boundary between work and personal life. By aligning with this norm, you not only avoid misunderstandings, you actively enhance trust, signal professionalism, and increase your impact in Danish professional settings. As you navigate this environment, remember that every on-time arrival and every met deadline is a small but powerful investment in your reputation, your relationships, and your long-term effectiveness in Denmark's workplace culture.